The Witch Elves are more maneuverable because they have agility 4 and dodge. They can get to where they need to be in order to make those sideline pushes. So what you're going to see, hopefully, is this Dark Elf player is going to come, and here comes the push. Now see, if you had a guy here, this would be a -2 die block. And the Storm Venom would have to make a dodge roll to get away. So I think that was an oversight. I just don't think he noticed that this guy had Frenzy. Back to what I was saying before, though. The Dark Elf player is going to use guys to lock up this Frenzy player. So that way he can't maneuver around and make those sideline pushes. It's hard to control a Witch Elf that way, because even if you put a tackle zone on them, I mean, they're just going to dodge away and do whatever they got to do. Now, if you look, he wouldn't have lost anything by having somebody right here next to the ball carrier. Like I said, this guy would have had to dodge away. It would have been -2 die block to knock him into the crowd. And this guy is still trapped. Like, he can't like make any dodge rolls or be effective. So it would have been good to have this player here. Like I said, I think that was just a slight oversight. I really like Dark Elf teams. I think that they're a really fun team to play because you're constantly changing your strategies and tactics. And I like Frenzy a lot. And yeah. Alright, so you see him building a cage right here. He's kind of banking on knocking these guys away. It's good stuff. Anyway, back to Dark Elves. They play a very dynamic game because they can run cages, and they can also like against slower opponents they can play a passing game. Okay, so he built his cage kind of dangerously. I think he built it right here, and then there were a bunch of rats touching it, and he had to knock them all down or away. A turnover could have ended very poorly for him. Alright, and you see too the Dark Elf player is taking his time. I know when I try to play the caging game, I usually end up with my guys next to the end zone, like turn 4 or 5. But really, oh, and see, here's Frenzy being used as a substitute for tackle. Being armor 7 is rather detrimental, but like I said, Frenzy is just a great choice. Forgot what I was saying before though. Oh yeah, I end up with my players down here way too early. You can take your time. When you get the kickoff, you have time to just slowly advance up the field. If you see here, he moved 4 spaces, or like he only moved a couple spaces because he was over here. All right, so now you're going to see him. All the strength of the Skaven is over here now. He's going to try to. This is the advantage of having all these movement 7 guys. It looks like he's going to build a cage like right here. Okay, so he decided to go with the block option rather than the triple die block twice. But I mean, it worked out. So, although maybe this is a good way to maybe he just needed this corner for the cage. Yeah, here comes the cage. This is excellent play. This is how I know a lot of newer players, and myself included, have trouble advancing a cage. And if you see here, he's only advancing the cage 2 spaces, but it's sufficient, especially when you're movement 7. Because now he's in scoring position, but He's in a full cage. Okay, now see here, this is what he should have done on the other side. Because again, he's up against that sideline, and this frenzy player could come over and crowd surf somebody. But having this guy here protects this guy. And this is what I mean about, like, you have to compensate for the frenzy player. And it's a good move. This is how you should do it. But if you look, just because he has frenzy player, his cage is incomplete now. So if he could get, like, say, this rat over here to hit this guy, I'm not saying he's going to do that, but it's an option, you know. So what it does is frenzy really puts pressure on your opponent's cage. Of course, his other option was to not build a cage this far over. In which case, your rats would have been in a better position. So, like I said, frenzy, it's good stuff. Take it. Alright, so he's bringing his rats over to tag this guy. I don't know why. He needs players over here. He's putting a lot of strength on this one lineman who can dodge away on a 2+. I think this is an error. Alright, now you see the Skaven player is also avoiding these two, like, being this close to the sideline because, again, frenzy players can come in and wreck your day. So he's setting up this play right here with these three players to try and stop the cage, but really, I mean, the Dark Elves at this point, they're fast enough to where they can probably form a cage right around, yeah, around here, without having to hit anybody. Although, probably, you'd hit this lineman and then form the cage. Okay, so that's really good for the Dark Elves. That opens up a whole, like world of possibilities now that they don't have to worry about that frenzy player anymore. You really notice frenzy most when you have it